Welcome to Kids Church. We're going to start with a game today, which you might remember from Wild Church a couple of weeks ago if you were with us. We played a game called Apple Pie. And today we're going to play a variation of that game, but this time it's called Baa Baa Black Sheep. So instead of saying apple pie, you will hear the words Baa Baa Black Sheep, and you have to try and work out who's saying them. So, positioned just out of shot are the other members of my family, and they are going to, when I tell them to, say those words in a disguised voice, and you have to try and work out who they are. Okay? Are you ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
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 We're ready. We're ready. Let's go.
Baa Baa Black Sheep.
Who was it? Please reveal yourself. That's Danny.
Hello.
That's a good one, isn't it? Okay. Next one. Who was that? Reveal. Hurry up. Did you get it? Okay, next one.
Baa Baa Black Sheep.
Again.
Me again.
It was. It actually was.
Black sheep.
That was a good one. Come on then. Who do you think it was? Did you think it was this guy? It was this guy.
Black sheep.
Who is it?
It was me.
Okay, let's do one more.
Black sheep.
It wasn't Emily, although she's just crawled onto shot. It
Da
was...
da 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 like a ball. Hi,
Right, thank you. Okay. Very good. So you've got the hang of that. You can play that by yourselves for a while if you like. Obviously, you can shut your eyes so that you don't know who it's going to be. That's a little bit of fun to start our times here. Okay, it's time for a Bible quiz. And this quiz is a Who Am I quiz. So I will tell you something about myself, and then you have to try and work out who I am. All right? And I'm going to describe 4 different people. So there are 4 opportunities to answer this question, or a question. Right, number 1. Who am I? When I was a baby, I was put into a basket and sent down the river for my safety. I ended up growing up in Pharaoh's household, but I actually also had to run away from there because I did something seriously bad. And when I ran away, I went and I started looking after sheep in the fields. I became a shepherd. Who am I? That's question number 1. Question number 2, who am I? Well, I've got a lot of older brothers, and they're much bigger than me, and some people think they're more handsome, whatever. But I'm really good at singing, and I am really good at looking after sheep. And one day, when I was, it was a little while ago, I was still quite small at the time, I actually was the only one of my brothers who could defeat a really enormous giant called Goliath, because I knew that God was on my side. So who am I? Okay. 3rd question. Who am I? Well, I've just got to tell you something amazing about what's just happened, because I was just minding my own business out in my fields, looking after my sheep, and then all of a sudden, the sky just totally filled with angels singing about a new baby that had been born that was going to be the saviour of the world. So me and my chums, we made a quick dash to Bethlehem to see the baby because we were amazed by these angels and they told us to go. And there he was. It was really cool. Who am I? Finally, fourth question, who am I? You! I have just been searching and searching and searching, and I have finally found my lost sheep. Do you know, I've got 100 sheep altogether, and 99 of them were totally fine, just, you know, where I left them, inside the gate, the sheep's pen area. But one of them had gone for a wander. So I've been on a really, really long journey finding that sheep, but I found him and I'm so pleased that I'm going to have a party right now. Who am I? Now, I'm going to give you the answers. You probably got them, didn't you? Because I gave you loads of clues, but maybe, I wonder if you can spot the link. So, question number 1, who was I? I was Moses, of course. Well done for getting Moses if you got that one right. Question number 2, who was I? That's right, I was David, who was a shepherd and then became a king, of course. I should have said about Moses, obviously, he didn't end up forever in the fields looking after sheep. He then went on, didn't he, to lead the people out of slavery. So that was Moses. Moses, David. Who was I in the 3rd round? Any ideas? Well, I don't know my name actually in that particular round, but obviously I'm one of the shepherds in the Christmas story that the angels appeared to, one of the very first people to meet Jesus. So that's very cool, isn't it? And then finally, slightly tricky, I'm the shepherd in the story about the lost sheep. So that's a parable, which means it's one of the stories that Jesus tells. So I'm not a real shepherd, but I'm a shepherd that's a bit like God, because God is like the shepherd that goes looking, goes searching for that one sheep. Even when there's 99 safe, he thinks, I've got to find that one sheep because I love that one sheep and I'm going to have a party when I find it. So that was a shepherd that's a bit like God. And what you might have noticed is that all those characters that I was in my Who Am I quiz are shepherds. And shepherds and sheep come up a lot in the Bible, don't they? So it's not a big surprise that Jesus uses that language when he talks about himself and about God. So that's obviously why I've worn my shepherd's outfit today. You might be familiar with the tea towel costume from nativity plays that you have perhaps been in or been to see. So I'm being a shepherd for today. And we're going to have a story where Jesus talks a little bit more about being the shepherd. This is the 4th in our I Am series. I am the light. I am the resurrection and the life. Last week, I am the bread of life. And this week, I am the good shepherd. So, get somewhere comfy for the story. This is interactive. You're going to need to say some words, all right? Settle in. Okay, we're going to try this interactive story. So, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to read you 3 sheep stories. And every time you hear the line, and all of the people said, I'm going to hold up a word. Oh, meh, and you're going to say the word. All right? And it's going to change. And let's see how this goes. What I'd like to look for through these stories is what kind of shepherd is Jesus? Okay, so there's 3 things that he says that he is or that he does as a shepherd. That's what I want you to spot, whilst also saying the words. Okay, let's give it a go. I'm reading from this Bob Hartman telling the Bible. The sheep thief. I've got something to say about sheep, said Jesus. And all of the people said, meh. Let's start with the sheep thief, said Jesus, that rotten, no good rustler. And all of the people said, boo. How does the sheep thief get into the pen? Said Jesus. Not through the gate, that's for sure. He creeps over the wall in the dead of night when nobody else is looking. And all of the people said, sneaky. And what's he there for? Said Jesus. I'll tell you, he's up to no good. He has knives and shears and lashings of mint sauce. He comes to steal and to kill and to destroy. And all of the people said, nasty. That is nasty. But the shepherd, said Jesus, the shepherd is different. And all of the people said, how? He comes through the gate, says Jesus, the right way, the proper way, the honest way. And he comes not to kill, but to lead the sheep to pastures green and gently flowing waters. And all of the people said, nice! I am the gate of the sheep pen, said Jesus. And all of the people said, huh? I am the gate, said Jesus. I'll protect you from anything and anyone that sneaks in to steal your joy. And if you go through me, you'll find life and find it to the full. Now let's talk about strangers, said Jesus. And the people all said, you should never talk to strangers. Exactly, said Jesus, and every sheep knows that. If a stranger calls, the sheep will not follow, because they do not recognise his voice. And the people said, that's smart. But the shepherd, said Jesus, the shepherd is different. And all of the people said, how? The sheep recognise his voice, said Jesus, and they follow him wherever he goes. And he knows them too, knows each of them by name. And the people said, that's lovely. I am the good shepherd, said Jesus, and I know my sheep too. There are some of you here and others I haven't met yet, and I know you all by name. And finally, said Jesus, let's talk about the hired hand. And all of the people said, show me the money. That's it, said Jesus. The hired hand is only in it for what he can get. It's not the sheep that are important to him. It's the paycheck and what he can buy with it. Bling, bling. So when the wolf comes, said Jesus, what does he do? He runs away to save his own skin. And the people said, it's more than his job's worth. But the shepherd, said Jesus, the shepherd is different. And all of the people said, how? The sheep belong to the shepherd, said Jesus. Each and every one of them is special to him. So when the wolf comes, he faces it and fights it off. He risks life and limb. And if he has to, he lays down his life for the sheep. And all of the people said, wow. I am the good shepherd, said Jesus, and I lay down my life for you. Well done. So did you spot the three things? There were three different stories there that Jesus told about shepherds. So he told a story about a sheep thief, and he told a story about a stranger, and he told a story about a hired hand. And in each one of his stories, he says, I am the good shepherd. I'm not like the sheep thief. I don't come to kill and destroy. I come to bring life and to protect. He says, I'm not like the stranger because sheep won't follow a stranger. They won't know his voice. I know my sheep and they know me. They know my voice and I know them by name. And then he talks about the hired hand and he says, I'm not like a hired hand. I'm not just in it for the money. I care about the sheep. I care about you. And if I have to, I will lay down my life for you. And we know that that is what he does. We know that when he comes at Christmas, he's coming because he's going to lay down his life for us. Because he is the good shepherd. That's what you want from a shepherd if you're a sheep, isn't it? If you're a sheep, you want a shepherd that's going to protect you. You want a shepherd that's going to know you. And you're going to know where he is and what his voice is so you can follow him. And you want a shepherd that's willing to lay down his life for you. Well, that is the kind of shepherd that Jesus is. And he says to us, I am the good shepherd and I will lay down my life for you. Okay, we're going to do a quick activity now to remind us of that verse as we go into our week. Now, what you're going to need for this is a stick of your choice. So you may want to do this later. You may want to first of all go for a walk, get yourself the perfect stick, or just go foraging in your garden. Now, in an ideal world, it would be a stick that resembles a shepherd's crook. Because we're remembering the Good Shepherd. My one sort of resembles a shepherd's crook. It could be a little bit more bendy at the top, but it's not bad, is it? And you may even, if you choose to, do a little bit of whittling if you're old enough and allowed. You can whittle with a potato peeler. That's quite an effective way of whittling. I haven't whittled my stick, but I know that my children will almost certainly want to whittle theirs. So find yourself the perfect stick, whittle if you wish, and then what we're going to do, very simply, is take that verse that we've been thinking about today. Now, if you'd like to go and look this up for yourselves, it's from John chapter 10. And I've just chosen this little bit of it. I am the good shepherd and I lay down my life for the sheep. There is more in the Bible. So you notice the ... So if you want to add a bit more, then do that. And I do recommend going away and reading the whole section in the Bible again, just to refresh your memories. But write down what it is that you want to, however much you want to or choose to. Pop a little hole in one end of it. As you see, mine's very rustic. It's a bit of paper. You might have some card, which might be better. And then just thread something through. Now, I found when I was rummaging through the craft boxes some red ribbon, which I always think is quite pretty. But also, it's quite a nice reminder, isn't it, of what the Good Shepherd comes to do. We know that he comes to lay down his life, which he does by shedding his blood for us on the cross. So if you've got some red ribbon, you could use that too, and that would be a reminder, wouldn't it, of the blood. And then tie that on. I'm not doing a very good job of tying mine on. I suggest you maybe could do a better job than me of that, but there we go. It's tied on. And then put that somewhere that you will see it this week. So I might put mine up on my mantelpiece actually as a reminder that we have a good shepherd, one who protects us, one who knows us, and one who lays down his life for us because he loves us, because he cares for us. So we couldn't have a week on the Good Shepherd without singing "The Lord is my shepherd." So we're going to do that. These words are taken from Psalm 23, which was written way before Jesus
It really
came
was.
and told us that he was
It
our
really
shepherd.
was.
It's actually written by King David, who was himself a shepherd, if you remember from earlier on in our session we talked about him, didn't we? These are lovely words, and we're going to sing them through together. The Lord's my shepherd, I will not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still waters. His goodness restores my soul, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. He guides my ways in righteousness, and he anoints my head with oil, and my cup it overflows with joy. I feast on his pure delights, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home. And though I walk the darkest path, I will not fear the evil one. For you are with me, and your rod and staff are the comfort I need to know. And I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercy follows me. Your goodness will lead me home, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone. For your endless mercies follow me. Your goodness will lead me home. Amen. The Lord bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you, turn his face towards you, and give you peace. Amen.